Hi everybody, welcome to October's Essential Yoga Program. I'm excited to share this with you. And this is a beautiful blend of 4 essential oil blends designed specifically for mood. It's called sort of the mood matrix. And then 2 single oils. And we're going to walk through each individual oil throughout the practice. And I'm going to describe to you some benefits of it physically, emotionally, and just some other reasons why I chose it for this month. This month's theme is all about releasing. And so when we release something in us, whether it's tension, we then make space for ease. If we let go of some of the fear we might have, we actually open up a door to experience more joyful things. So it's all about releasing. And so when we think about release in a yoga practice, it's often in a style of yoga called yin yoga, where yin is designed to be everything opposite of what our normal life is. Our normal life is very outward, it's very fast, it's very doing, it's very action-based. And yin is sort of like you take this giant step inside of you, and it's slow. It's not slow, like it's gentle, it's holding postures. So this is a perfect class if you choose to stay in a chair, that's fine. If you want to be on the floor, that's fine too. We will not be getting up, so you will be on the floor for the entire duration of the practice. And this is designed to kind of counter the lifestyle that most of us lead. Yin can be frustrating emotionally, mentally, because we're so wired to be doing. So it's really an opportunity to go inside, look at yourself, look at what it is that's so hard about being still, and just kind of look at some of maybe hidden and unwanted things in your essence that you want to get rid of. So we're going to need, you're going to need wild orange, frankincense, a blend called Balance, which is my favorite blend, a blend called Serenity, it's for relaxation and sleep, Elevation, which is a really bright and happy, joyful oil, and you'll need Citrus Bliss, which is a combination of a bazillion citrus oils and some vanilla. So it smells like a creamsicle. It might immediately take you back to childhood. So those are the oils you need. If you need any of these oils, just reach out to me. I put them in a mail. I drop them on your porch if you live locally, and you get this little bundle of goodness that you get to experience the yoga class with. And like I always teach yoga, unless it's a chair class, turn off my camera. And I do that so that you can kind of delve into yourself and not really worry about following along a visual. And I chose to teach this class up in my office today rather than my studio, just because I wanted to kind of close in the walls a little bit, even of my teaching today. I want to be in a quiet space. I want to be not distracted by the windows outside and the trees and the birds and the animals, but truly just kind of hunker in. And that's what's so beautiful about this practice. So what you can do is, if you choose to sit in a chair, you're going to need 2 chairs. And if you want to stay on the floor, just go ahead and grab a pillow or 2. Maybe just a pillow off your couch will work, or if you have your bed pillow, that's fine too. So grab those tools and maybe close some curtains if your room is really bright, your space is really bright. Shut a door. I have my door barricaded so I have no animals knocking on the door to come in. Just create sort of this cave for yourself. And then go ahead and get settled in. I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm going to walk you through the oils. So have them nearby, and let's get going. All right, October. Such a beautiful month to let go. And it's so cliche to think of fall, think of a leaf, and the leaf lets go. And it may sound cliche, but it's so true. It's so true that the work of the leaf is over. It's done its job. And when we think about even some emotional things like fear, at the time, fear does a job for us. It guides us into a solution. It insists that we pull back and we take an objective look maybe. Anxiety has a purpose. For a short time, it asks us to look at alternatives, to look at our thoughts, to look at a solution. So it's not that we should avoid uncomfortable emotions and just let go of them, so cliche like a leaf. They've served its purpose. The leaf has done its job. It provided shade, it provided nutrients, it provided the funnel of rain into the heart of the tree. It's done its job and it's no longer needed. So we're going to look at that as related to us today. So today's workshop and the oils that I chose are really to help us let go of some of that unwanted or even hidden emotion and welcome and make space for a more uplifting and hopeful support to your body, your mind, and your spirit. So as you settle into your chair or reclined on the floor, allow yourself to fully participate today. Just listen to my voice. Let go and receive the oils as they assist us in moving in a more favorable direction, taking the season of fall and kind of resetting us, making space for what's to come. And I will say that this can be an emotional workshop focusing on 4 different blends that are really designed to be, like I said, that mood matrix. So please know that you're safe to feel whatever you need to feel. So the first essential oil I would like you to have in your hand is frankincense. And I typically, if you were in my studio, we would be diffusing frankincense, but you can just smell it right from the bottle. You can make a little spray with a glass spray bottle and a few drops of frankincense and some water. But this is a powerful and very rare oil that is diverse in its use, both on and in and around the body. If there's one oil you should have, it would be this one. The diversity of its uses make it incredible. This one is known historically as a holy oil. It's used in many, many sacred ceremonies and anointing ceremonies. It's distilled from a frankincense tree resin harvested in the Middle East and in North Africa. So this one is highly researched in its ability to help build and maintain a healthy immune system. So just take a couple drops of frankincense and just place it underneath your nose, along your mustache. This one is also great for skin. I like to put this on my face at the end of a day after my face has been cleaned. So those are some of the physical aspects: skin, immune system. But this special oil, this beautiful resin is known as the oil of truth. So we use frankincense to help us let go of some of those lower vibrations, those false truths, the deceptions and lies that we tell ourselves, allowing us to cleanse sort of that darkness within us and move towards our inner light. This one connects us with our higher selves, provides a gentle and loving sense to it. You just feel comforted when you breathe in frankincense. This one helps beautifully to release us from our past. And the past can be 5 minutes ago, it can be last week, last month, years ago. This is an ideal oil to use if you're seeking sort of to evolve and get out of the pattern in which your mind can play. So this one allows us to come back and focus within. This is an ideal oil for contemplation or meditation. I picked it today to start our practice, to assist us in this idea of letting go, to receive what may come. Just take a moment. Remember, this practice will be incredibly slow. Sometimes we get frustrated when we're still, and if that frustration comes into your presence, just ask perhaps why are you here? And then let it go. We're just going to be still for a moment or two. You can have soft music playing if that's your preference, or just listen to the sound of my voice. And as distractions come in and out, you might hear sounds of people in another room or traffic. Just try to redirect your thoughts to just your body in a chair or on the floor. And redirect the mind to pay attention to the breath. The beautiful friend, that gift, that sweetness of right now is your breath. Start to feel like that vessel of water that we talk about so often, like a vase filled with sand and water. You can notice as we set that vase down or that vessel, the sand sinks to the bottom and there's some clarity. Same thing happens in a still yoga practice. We get into the posture and we become still. So if you're in a chair right now, start to hinge forward so that the belly gets towards the thighs. And if you're on the floor, start to bring your thighs towards your belly. You might wrap your arms around your legs, or just hunker in a little bit. Eventually, if you're on the floor, you'll tip over to one side and make your way up to a seat. So you can set the frankincense aside, knowing that you can return to it time and time again beyond this class to reconnect. The next oil that we're going to play with as we move into the next posture is going to be wild orange. And in a typical class such as this, I would offer the wild orange to you in a glass with water. It's a beautiful internal essential oil if it's a brand that is safe to ingest internally. It's powerful cleanser for the body. It's uplifting. It also has some amazing immune system support. It's uplifting to the mind, and just by taking a sip, we can have this little bit of wake up. Wild orange is a neat essential oil in that it can also occasionally help with that upset stomach that comes about here and there. It's a beautiful, bright oil. It's emotionally known as the oil of abundance. So you can dab your finger on top of the bottle of wild orange and then just rub the inside of your cheek and taste that orange, or you can put a drop in your water, or you can just smell it. Wipe a little bit under your nose. This beautiful oil, although it's a citrus, which typically is very uplifting, this one also has this beautiful ability to harmonize. So it can reduce anxious feelings. It can reduce and calm emotions. I like to use this one at night in my diffuser. I also like to use it in the morning to wake me up. So it sort of has this ability to get into our brains and give us what we need at the time that we need it. It helps inspire creativity and a positive mood. It encourages some creative thinking and this sense of fearlessness. I picked it today just to help us find some joy as we begin the process of releasing things within us. So take a moment to smell that beautiful bottle of joy, maybe taste it, drink it. Under the tongue is nice. It's a beautiful oil, safe for all ages, including babies. It's a wonderful oil for stomach aches in little ones. Perfect. All right, so before we get into posture work, I want you to come into this idea of asking yourself and picturing a beautiful leaf representing something in your life that has served its purpose. It maybe was a challenge that now has inspired you to make changes. Perhaps it was something fearful that inspired you to seek help and to advocate and to rise above that fear and to dip into your strength. Or maybe it's some anxiety about the unknowns and it's taught you to live in the present. So it's served its purpose. The leaf is ready to let go, and that's a beautiful thing. I want you to grab the next blend And this one is a Citrus Bliss. It's our first combination. We've had 2 single oils, and now we're going to move into that mood matrix. So the Citrus Bliss blend is known as invigorating. It's a blend of wild orange, lemon, grapefruit, mandarin, bergamot, tangerine, clementine, and that vanilla. This combination of citrus and just a bit of vanilla sort of bind those top notes together. Top notes meaning those invigorating aromas, those citrus oils that grow high on the tree that send the messages into the brain to be bright and to be alive and to be happy. And so this one is an excellent choice to provide an uplifting and stress reducing atmosphere. It's great to diffuse, but I want you to just put a couple drops into your hand, rub your hands together, knowing that these oils combined together really help to support a healthy lymphatic system. And remember, our lymphatic system is where we carry all those extra toxins and fluids and sludge. So we're going to use this sort of vigorously today. And so I want you to rub your hands together, cup your nose, breathe it in. It smells just like a creamsicle from our childhood. It's known as the oil of creativity. So it inspires sort of that aha of awakeness, and that inhalation allows us to de-stress. This one is sort of known as a fire starter, if you will. It reconnects us to our inner creativity and encourages play and self-expression. And I picked it today to help just start us out with releasing burdens so that we can rediscover bliss. Most of us carry burdens in our hips or our shoulders. If you're in a chair, go ahead and take your legs wide so you're straddling a horse. And if you're on the floor, bring the soles of your feet together, but keep a lot of space between the base of your body and your heels. We have this diamond shape if you're on the floor, and if you're in a chair, you're just sitting really wide. If you're in a chair, bring your elbows forward to your thighs like you're just watching a ball game. And if you're on the floor, start to slide forward, hinging at the hips, feeling that tension in the back and in the hips begin to dissipate, and make sure that your hands are nearby your beautiful nose and you can continue to smell that blend of bliss, the invigorating blend. But sometimes in our lives, we hold on and it gets in the way of bliss. And that's where we come back to the leaf. We come back to releasing, and we come back to knowing that the fear and the anxiety and the tensions, they have served a purpose. And in a blissful way, we can see the wisdom in that. We can see the lesson, and we can let go to make space. If you're in a chair, start to slide forward just a little bit more, hinging forward, letting the arms dangle rather than rest. And if you're on the floor, try to hinge forward even more. And we're going to start to direct the breath into the hips and into the low back, where we tend to carry so much. Men tend to carry a lot on their shoulders, and women tend to carry a lot in their hips or their low back. Men do the low back as well. So we're going to start to deep breathe here, focusing mostly on the exhale. Remember, the exhale is where that big detox comes in, where we push out any extra thing that we don't need. And remember, a yin class, we hold the postures for long periods of time, sometimes even up to 10 minutes. We won't be here that long, but long enough for you to feel gravity drawing you, kind of excavating that need to be upright and active, and just allowing some softening to happen in and around the body. Direct the breath into the back of the body. Remember, when we use essential oils, it's about 20 seconds that it goes into the brain, and into the limbic brain is where our emotions are stored, our memories, our state of arousal. About 2 minutes after we apply essential oils, can be detected in the cells of our body, of our system. So these citrus oils are getting into the cellular structure and detoxifying and cleansing and kind of scrubbing bubbles inside your body. And after just 2 minutes, every cell in your body is completely touched by these beautiful plants. And so the bloodstream recognizes them first, and then they go into the cells and they begin to circulate through the body. Take a few more breaths here, noticing how the let go happens. Maybe hinge just a little bit more. Start to slowly allow the body to come up. You'll be stacking your bone on bone of your spine and allow the legs to stay just as they are. You're going to take your left hand over to your right knee. Just slight turn to the right. And on your next in-breath, get a little bit taller, a little bit longer. And then spin just a little bit more. Remember, we're going slow here. There's no need to be fast. And then eventually you will lower your chin towards your right shoulder, and you'll feel this release in your neck, this letting go. And then lift your chin and just begin to rotate very slowly back to front. Take your right hand onto your left knee. Get a little bit taller first, and then rotate to the left. Just a little at first, and then the breath will get longer. You might elevate the spine, and then you turn a little bit deeper and lower your chin towards your left shoulder and feel the space. And just as you came in, lift your chin and slowly rotate back to front. I'm going to slide the left leg out long in front. If you're in a chair, make sure that your heel is connected to the ground and the toes are up. If you're on the floor, just really lengthen that left leg. And again, your toes will be up as well. And the right foot goes into the inner thigh of the left leg if you're on the floor. So we have this seated tree happening. If you're in a chair, just keep your right knee bent and the foot flat on the floor. Left leg is long. The heel is grounded into the mat or into the floor, and the toes are up, active. And yet here we come into the passiveness of it. You'll take a breath. Start to hinge forward again, coming into the hips, behind the knee. We hold tension there. We have this tightness. We round our shoulders, tuck our chin, let the weight of our head begin to allow the body to let go. Direct the breath into the back of the body, into the kidneys. See if you can inflate the lungs so that even the back expands. And then when you exhale, we let go, we let go, we let go. And take just a few more breaths here. Start to bring your body up. We're just going to switch legs. So go slow, almost as if you're moving through this thick air. There's no need to rush or fly from one thing to the next. So the right leg goes long, the heel is down, the toes are up, the left knee, if you're on the floor, opens, the foot slides against the right. If you're in a chair, the left knee just bends and the foot's flat on the floor. We take a breath first. And then hinge forward. Feel it. We always want to feel our body here before we go on. And then start to round your shoulders. Let the weight of your head release. And feel. Super slow. Start to rebuild your spine to vertical. Bring both legs in just a little bit. Just notice how you feel. I want you to grab the blend called Elevation. Elevation is known as the joyful blend. This one contains oils of lavandin, which is similar to lavender, but it's called lavandin. It has tangerine, lemon myrtle, melissa, lang lang, which is a beautiful flower, osmanthus, and sandalwood. A combination of florals and citrus, but also a little bit of wood in there, a little bit of some earthiness. This is an excellent blend to reduce some of the stressful feelings that reside in our heart and sort of low energy. When we think about the idea of sludge, we feel heavy. We feel like the burdens of life, the worries of life sort of consume our heart. So we're going to use this one to elevate our mood, to uplift our heart. And this one is designed to promote feelings of self-confidence and self-worth and to show up big. This is known as the oil of joy, and it's designed to soothe the heart and to help us let go of some of those lower, heavier, denser vibrations. Sort of anger and fear and anxiety, those are very low vibrating, kind of heavy that we feel actually in our body. This one brings a little bit of light and we shift into this higher vibration of consciousness and just awareness. Old habits and even thought patterns sort of dissipate and they lose their appeal. This idea of staying in the story that we have. And if you think about that leaf again, it's not going to stay in June. It's going to do what it needs to do and then it's going to let go. This one helps us to see that worry and fear are really unproductive. All they do is bear and weigh us down and make us feel not bright. So I chose this one to encourage us to let go of that and to receive the highest support that we can possible as we focus on faith and hope and determination. This blend will support us to kind of flow with light and remain in that peace and lights that we're starting to feel. So go ahead and take a few drops of Elevation. It's such a beautiful blend, one of my favorites. I want you to take a few drops into your fingertips or your palm and actually apply it to your heart. Just rub it along underneath your scapula or underneath your collarbones and kind of push into the heart space and then take your hands and rub them along the back of your neck and up your spine all the way up into the base of your skull. So Oils on the hands, we start with the collarbone, we rub into the heart space, and then up and around the neck, and up, up, up into the brainstem, and then finish with a swipe on the mustache. Beautiful. So sitting tall, either in a chair or on the floor, bring your hands behind you, and if you're in a chair, you might slide them onto the seat of the chair or grab the legs of the chair, but you notice the heart just opened, and if you're on the floor, you're going to rest on the palms. The fingers are turned away from your bum, and you're going to lean back slightly. So the hips are soft now. We're coming upward into that higher vibration of even our physical body. And we're going to focus on the heart here, focus on the chest. So lean back, push the heart forward and up, and maybe a slight tip of the nose up. And so the belly is big and full, sticking forward, the heart's elevated, and the chin is slightly up here. So we have 3 energy centers working here. We have the confidence of our belly, of our solar plexus, our fiery determination, spewing forward. We have the heart saying, yes, I'm going to be light and airy. I'm going to elevate my heart. I'm going to rise above the mental clutter. And the lift of the chin just symbolizes to the world, hey, I'm ready to speak it. I'm ready to communicate my truth. And my truth is light. My truth is free of the past. It's free of those burdens. I'm going to move forward in this next season with space, with truth, with understanding. I am not my fear. I'm not my anxiety. I'm not my stress. I'm not my tension. I'm free from that. And that is the joy that we can find when we use essential oils like elevation, when we open up our heart, we really feel here. It's beautiful. Keep elevating, keep pushing the heart, maybe lift your chin just a little bit more. Breathe in those oils, breathe in the idea of joy. Remember, it's this idea of letting go of what's in the heart and allowing space for joy, for light. Take a couple more breaths here. Beautiful. Now straighten your spine and splay your arms out as wide as you can. Become this giant star, seated star. Beautiful. Feel the heart, feel the chest spreading open. Now the arms will go back just slightly, and you feel that space in the armpit area towards the heart, towards the chest. Remember, we just dumped a whole bunch of these beautiful heart opening oils. Ylang ylang, which is this beautiful floral that says love, love, love. Chamomile and sandalwood are coming in our next blend. So we're opening up to then find that sweetness inside of us of calm. But let's just keep pushing, using the citrus and the florals to open, open, open. Take a couple more breaths here. And now begin to lower your right hand. It might find the floor, it might find a chair or a leg, and your left arm is going to elevate up to the sky. So we're just resting on the right hand, lifting the left arm. We take a long breath in, and the left arm goes up and over the head. We feel the space in our left side body and through the ribs, and maybe even roll the left shoulder back so that the heart continues to rise up. We still have that stretch through the chest, but we've moved into the side bodies here. And take a long breath to come back up. Now take the left hand and find it resting somewhere in the chair, the leg of a chair, the floor, and the right arm goes high. Make a ton of space here. And then go up and over. Pulling the right shoulder back, letting the heart rise, and breathe. Breathe. Back up to center the arm goes, and we lower. Go ahead and grab the Serenity blend. It has a purple label. And if you're on the floor, go ahead and roll onto your back. If you're seated, stay just as you are. So this beautiful blend of Serenity, go ahead and apply a couple drops to your palms. Remember, it's actually beneficial to use oils together. They work synergistically. So it's awesome to have all of these different oils going into the system through our skin and into our limbic brain through our nose, and they actually enhance each other. So we're never going to have any contraindications of applying too much too quickly. They absorb quickly, they work effectively, they're completely safe. So Serenity is a blend of lavender, sweet marjoram, Roman chamomile, more ylang ylang, more sandalwood, and more vanilla. This is a beautiful blend. So go ahead and take a few drops onto your hands. And for this particular oil, swipe the mustache, always the mustache, because we get that rush into the brain. But then take your hands and just rub them along your forehead and then down into the temple. Never close or in the eye, but just go along your hairline again. Kind of smoothing out the tension, if you will, of your brain. Do that again. Just keep smoothing along the forehead and into the temple. You might even go up and around the ear. This is an excellent blend for calming nervous energy. It's great for when we have some sort of excited emotions, even good things, like great things are happening in our life. We just can't turn those off. This is a great option for you. It's great for sleep. It's great for anxious thoughts throughout the day, or as we wind down from our day. It's perfect for kind of coming into that end of practice, end of the day. And as we relax the body, each of our systems also relax. Our digestive system, our circulatory, our respiratory, all of these systems are muscular systems. This is the oil of forgiveness. This one helps us when we have feelings of hostility or fear, jealousy, rage, even resentment. This one can help us forgive others and offer compassion instead of holding that in our heart. This one helps us let go of expectations of perfection for ourselves and others. This one helps us to look in the mirror first before blaming someone else, which often comes from our own unhappiness and shame. And as we forgive ourselves and others, we connect to that deep love and oneness. I picked it today to help us find compassion in ourselves, and so that we can truly see that in others and we can have that mirror experience. So go ahead and get on your back if you're not already there, or reclined in a chair. So if you're in a chair, scoot towards the edge of your seat, recline back, and then begin to lift your left leg into the body. Squeeze it as tight as you can. And the way that is best able to do this in a chair is by getting your cheeks as close to the edge of that seat as you can, and then leaning back against the back of the chair, and then squeezing it in and really feeling that compression against the belly. If you're on the floor, you can interlace your fingers around that bent left knee and really squeeze tight. And you might even move the leg around and put some pressure on the spleen and the stomach directly with the thigh. But this also works again into the hips, where we hold so much. So go ahead and close your eyes if they're not closed. Just breathe in that sweet, calming blend of serenity. The florals, the woods. Chamomile is just such a beautifully known, historically calming oil. It's great for babies. It's something we can sip as tea in the evening to calm the nerves. It's great to unwind. A lot of times when we have these thoughts and anxieties and tensions, it's as a result of holding on to something. And when we let go of that, usually through the method of forgiveness or even acknowledgement, maybe it wasn't right, but it was, and we let go. We don't want to carry these shriveled up leaves on our branches of life. We don't want to carry that. We want to be able to let go and make space. Try to squeeze just a little bit more. You might even open the left knee just slightly and hug it in towards the ribs just a little bit and feel that. The right leg is long. We're sitting in an easy position. Now take a breath. On the exhale, squeeze as hard as you can. Push out that tension, that pain. And then slowly release. Let's go ahead and grab the right leg. You might take a whiff of the oil again. It's still in your hands. You might smell that beautiful blend. Squeeze really tight. Bring the right leg into the body. Squeeze, squeeze, and squeeze. So nice. This is the side of our body where our liver is, and toxins and that sludge that we hold on to. They say that anger is located in the liver. So as we squeeze and compress, we're saying, I'm done with it. It has served its purpose. It has taught me protection. It has taught me confidence. It has taught me forgiveness, but it's time to go. And eventually you might take the right knee and open it, and this really pushes into the side body. Any residual anger, resentment, squeeze it out of your body. Beautiful. Go ahead and release that. Come into an easy position. If you're seated in a chair, you're still reclined, and all is really well here. If you're on the floor, go ahead and bring both knees into your chest. Arms are going to splay out to the side, palms face up or down, you pick, it doesn't matter. Heart is open when the palms are up, but we're grounded when the palms are down. So either way, your body's going to know what you need. You can rest your palms up on your lap if you're in a chair or down. We're going to take the knees and just turn them over to the left. And as you do that, turn your head to the right. This twist, this cleansing. Remember, every time we twist the body, we're cleansing the spine. We hold so much there. And the yogis believe that the spine really governs the health of the body as we squeeze out some of that old and stagnant energy. Spinal fluid, we actually cleanse the internal body. Perfect. Maybe even go a little deeper by tucking the knees in towards your body just a little bit more. If you're in a chair, you can lift up your heels and kind of squeeze in a little bit. Then you'll come back to center. We'll take the knees over to the right. The head's going to turn to the left, and we picture our beautiful spine in this swirling, cleansing, releasing posture. Beautiful. Let go. Feel. Bring your knees back up to center. If you're in a chair, just let the legs fall gently. Maybe the hips softly open. If you're on the floor, bring the soles of your feet together. Grab your balance blend. Balance. This is the one I mentioned so often is my favorite. It's like taking a walk through the forest. It has spruce, frankincense, blue tansy, hoewood, blue chamomile. So we have 2 blue flowers, low growing, incredibly calming. More frankincense. Remember, we began the practice with frank, and then the beautiful spruce tree. And we know that roots and bark and trees in its very essence, in its nature, are going to be grounding and calming. This blend is called the grounding blend. Let's go ahead and take a couple whiffs out of the bottle. Maybe dab a little bit onto your fingertip and apply it underneath the nose. And I want you to put some on your finger and apply it to your forehead, just right between the eyes. And just press a little bit. This is sending the message to the brain to quiet even more. Then you might swipe across the forehead one direction and then swipe across the forehead another direction, and then take another drop or two and slide it on the back of your neck and all the way up the brain stem, right there in that little soft spot in the back of your skull where it connects to your neck. This beautiful blend is designed to help ground our emotions and our physical body, to keep our foundation balanced. No matter what we encounter in life, we are together, we are harmonized with mind, body, and spirit. We use this oil aromatically and topically anytime we have stress or anxiety. I tend to use it every day just to keep myself connected and grounded. I put a drop or two in some unscented lotion and apply it to my shoulders. It promotes this feeling of relaxation as I start my day, but I also use it at the end of my day to take me into that place of connection and grounding. This one helps reconnect us to our core of ourself, especially if we spend a lot of time thinking or analyzing. This really helps us just to go inward. And that's how this whole practice has been, is an inward journey. This is great to bring some tranquility to an overburdened spirit, people who give a lot, who show up a lot. We need to kind of bring back some earth energy and give back with some calming tree and flower oils. This one brings presence to the moment. And as a tree grows so slowly over time, it reminds us of that solid foundation of who we are. And I chose to end our practice today with balance, just to help ground us in what we've experienced today, sort of the heart opening, the letting go, the willingness to say, I don't need this anymore. I don't need fear right now. I don't even need anxiety. It has served its purpose, and now I've created some space. And as we let go of those things, we see that we can actually receive a better version of ourselves. We can move into this next season a little lighter, a little less burdened, our branches a little free. So begin to just notice your breath again. Come back to where we began. As we come into our final pose, I hope that you've noticed the flow that was created by today's oils. We had the opening, frankincense, and then that inward focus and that forward fold as we looked within and identified some things we're carrying. And then the opening outward, where we opened up our heart and we elevated using Elevation Blend, and we lifted our heart and opened our wings. And then that focus inward in the seated trees, we went back inside, creating sort of this physical and emotional flushing, if you will, to move out the old and welcome in the new. So we enter into the season of fall where there's so much letting go. We started frankincense just to help us recognize where we begin, where we start in order to release. We used that beautiful wild orange to uplift us as we began to let go, bring in a little brightness. Citrus bliss, remember, that added fuel to that confidence, that fire of releasing the past. And then we turned to elevation to see what was holding us back from joy, to make space for joy. And then we use that beautiful serenity, that calming sweetness of florals to bring peace of mind. And we finished with balance to ground us in knowing that the next steps are safe, that we are supported, we know who we are connected. And as you finish your practice today, you can stay as long as you want. You can take in more oils, find a favorite in this beautiful choice of 6. And if you would like more of one, just let me know. I can help you get that. And as you go into the first few weeks of October into a very busy season. Just remember this practice and what you released to make space for joy. And I hope to see you all really soon. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.